So before we move along, I wanted to bring back up a big discussion from last week about Stephen Elop. We had a lot of fun at the new.
You Eloped some jokes at him.
At Stephen Elop's expense.
If you're listening to this and not watching it, that was weird.
So I was tweeted at.
Can we talk about this paper?
This is crazy.
Incredible stuff.
My Titanfall review printed off on this too. I'm like, wow, this really is a AAA game.
We leveled up.
That is cardboard. That's amazing.
Cocoa item number 1, new paper.
Yeah, I could if I just you're dead. Like,
also, the reason Destin's not here is because we couldn't afford him with all this new paper.
Yeah. So, the spirit of Destin lives on in this sheet of paper. But
Elop.
So when we were talking about Stephen Elop last week, the new head of the Xbox division at Microsoft, we went over from his Wikipedia page, which again anybody can edit a Wikipedia page, but these were cited facts. They're certainly presented in their own way. But he did, things were not good financially for the company during his time at Nokia. So I said, well, what's this guy? Why is he going to do well at Microsoft? And we did certainly. We were fair. We said, obviously the people at Microsoft see something in him and obviously have spoken to him at length. And he had previously worked at Microsoft anyway before going out to Nokia. So a Twitter follower of mine named Avid Reyes. You can follow him on Twitter at @A_Anderson Reyes, all one word, on Twitter. And he sent along this great piece because it ended up being tweeted at me and said, hey, he's done a lot of, he's actually was really good at Nokia. And it's like, well, I looked him up and couldn't find anything like that. Do you have anything I'd love to learn about what he did well? So Avid Reyes sent me this Forbes article from just about a year ago, January 2013, which was right as it's a year old, right as Nokia's fiscal year 2012 earnings were coming out. And it actually did go into it. It was very enlightening and really did paint an interesting picture of how Nokia was. They were already on a downward spiral. So Stephen Elop's job was to come in and try and
right the
pull up before the plane just crashed into the ground. Yeah. And so there's some interesting stuff in here. I wanted to go through it and sort of own up to.
Hit me.
Not a little. I won't call it misinformation on last week's show, but
we just got excited.
Ignorance, maybe.
Dogpiling.
I would say just not a full picture of the guy. So this is from Forbes a year ago. Let's see. Its Windows Phone 8 devices were off to a flying start during the holiday season, when they are talking about 2012, not 2013. Lumia's shipment volume, that's the phone with the super fancy pants, like the 6 million megapixel camera in it, which is amazing on its own. Lumia's shipment volume of 4.4 million units was more than 4 times the same amount for Nokia in the fourth quarter of 2011. There seemed to be a high demand for the new Lumia Windows Phone 8 smartphones with various retailers and carrier partners. The Q4 guidance lifted a fair bit of that uncertainty, and with Windows phones finally outselling Symbian and MeeGo models, a new era at Nokia seems to have finally begun. So this is what Stephen Elop was up to. He came in and sort of took all those old platforms that the Nokia phones had been running off of, scrapped them, and laid down Windows Phone as their new universal platform. Let's see. Yeah, the rising optimism surrounding Nokia's comeback bid with Windows phones has lifted its shares by over 60% in the past 3 months. Let's see here. I think there was a little bit more too. Yeah, Nokia's strong start to its latest Lumia launch, especially in the U.S., is a good launch pad for the company to build it into a bigger success.
Basically, this guy did what he was supposed to.
Yes.
He did his job very effectively.
Yeah. He seemed to, whereas, he kept the plane from crashing into the mountain, basically. So I don't think we can't take back Elop. It's too good.
Sure.
We're going to have to use it.
Yeah.
But maybe it can be applied to good things.
Could it be a good thing?
It could be a
financial
good thing.
recovery.
If you save a woman from a train, if she's tied on a train tracks by some sort of a bandit,
you
eloped her.
Yeah. That sounds dirty. I don't want to do
that.
It
does sound a little gross.
Don't elop anybody.
No eloping, kids.
But Stephen Elop, welcome to Xbox, and I hope, fortunately, the Xbox ship, some fanboys out there would suggest that, yes, it is about to crash into a mountain, but the reality is, no.
I wonder if a huge mech will come down and save it from that mountain.
Stand by for Elop fall.
Oh, boy.
God.
Wait, didn't we do that last week in a negative context?
That took a lot. Oh, God.
So we'll see. I mean, Stephen Elop, not the villain that we painted him out to be.
Yeah.
Still don't know if he might still not pan out. We don't know that.
He might be a villain.
He could be.
Remember in Unbreakable when Mr. Glass became a villain?
Spoilers!
Ah! Mitch is guffawed.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh,
Sorry.
God. Get out of here. Go
You
watch
mean
it.
Mr. Glass? What? Oh my God! It all makes sense now.
Whatever. He's very brittle.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's so brittle. Just push him downstairs.
Remember before M. Night Shyamalan died? That was great.
Rest in peace, M. Night Shyamalan and Destin.
What happened to that man and his film career?
Well,
Avatar: The Last
Faustian
Airbender is what
deals
happened.
only last so long.
Faustian deals.
All right, so that is a sort of odd potpourri of stories here at the top of the show on Podcast Unlocked.
Weird episode we have.
The world's #1 Xbox podcast. We'll come right back and do the news.
Yeah.
And for those of you watching on video, please join us in the full audio version of the podcast. It's about an hour show, give or take, each and every week. New shows every Wednesday, most of the time, except for today. That's the only exception. And we'll be back right after this with the news.